Sportsball.
Right. So around here, we like to start our sports ball with Cleveland sports. So we'll start off with the Cavs. They got beat by the Thunder without SGA even playing. And the critics pretty much trashed them after that game. Then they came back and beat the Knicks. And then they sat Harden, Mobley, and Mitchell and lost to the Bucks by 2 in overtime. Now, that was a wild game there. The bench actually played really well, but then they came back and they lost to the Pistons with Harden and Mobley back, Mitchell still out, and then they beat the Nets, and then they turned around and beat the Pistons, which was good,
right?
Because they can't lose too much ground in the East. But Mitchell has missed his 4th straight game with a groin strain. They're off for 4 days before they play their next game from their last game. So I guess they said that they're hoping he may be back for that. So fingers crossed.
Yep.
The Guardians were killing it in the Cactus League. They won 4 in a row. And I mean, they were blowing people out. It was like 9-2, 9-1. And then they turned around and lost 5 straight.
Yeah. I mean,
I know, but
it's preseason. It's,
the teams that are big, are still actually winning, like the Dodgers and Pittsburgh and stuff. Deeper benches, I guess. So then they won 1 and they lost 3 more. So hopefully that'll be over soon. The opening day is April 3rd, I do believe. Home opener is April 3rd. So
that sounds right.
Yeah, I don't know when their first game is, but the home opener is April 3rd. So it'll probably snow April 3rd here.
Right.
As tradition has it for Cleveland.
Yep, April 3rd.
And then the Browns signed Titus Howard from the Titans, an offensive lineman. So they're making somewhat of a step to replace their lost offensive lineman and hopefully bolster that line a little bit, which was 20th against the rush last year. Yep. So not very good. They're also being linked to Malik Willis in free agency. And they're also projected to take the quarterback out of Alabama at 24th in the draft. So it's always really interesting when you talk about Cleveland and quarterbacks because we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe Deshaun Watson will start.
Yeah, somebody actually said that too. They're like, oh, he's going to have a bigger role in the offense this year. And it's like, okay.
He's going to play?
probably 5 games, throw 15 interceptions, and then get hurt again.
Break his toe.
But so we have no idea what's going on with our Cleveland quarterback situation. But it's just great that they're linking us to a free agent that's filled in for 4 games in Green Bay and did terrible when he was in Tennessee. As far as that's Cleveland sports. Off to the Olympics, which is over now. We have been gone for 2 weeks, but I did want to touch, and the men's won the last gold medal of the Olympics by beating Canada in the gold medal round. It was a really exciting game. It went into overtime, which is 3-on-3 hockey, which we talked about with the women's overtime hockey.
Yep.
Except the difference was that the Canadian men's team was not as graceful as the women's Canadian team, and half the players and the coaches and everybody came out complaining, saying that 3-on-3 hockey has no place in the Olympics after they won 2 games prior to that in 3-on-3 hockey, and that the better team lost. A couple of their players actually said that the better team lost. Just go back and review the tape. Then they were complaining about officiating, and they actually had a 5-on-3 and couldn't score on a 5-on-3. Like, U.S. got called for penalties. It's not like they weren't calling penalties against the U.S. But so Canada is not very gracious. And then they tried to say that the medal should be stripped from the U.S. team because of the way that they celebrated.
Yeah, that was the one that was interesting to me.
Yeah. So there was like a lot of people out there, like, anti-American, but a lot of people from Canada and the Canadian team that came out and said that, they celebrated improperly. What
did they do?
I don't know. I actually there was a locker room scene where they were shaking up champagne and people were drinking and stuff like that. And apparently I don't know if that doesn't have a place in
the Olympics
or the Olympics. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't really understand the complaint there. They did bring out the guy from Columbus that died. They brought out his 2 kids, and they had a Gaudreau jersey, and they brought his kids out on the ice because he was supposed to be on the Olympic team.
Okay.
And, I don't know if that's what they were talking about because they all took a team picture with his kids and stuff on the ice. So I don't know. I don't really know what the complaint was. I think it's just amazing that, that they're that poor sport because they got beat in hockey. I guess that's all they have. So,
sorry, Canada.
In NCAA men's basketball, there's actually been quite a big shakeup in the standings since the last time we talked. Duke's been number 1 for the last week or so, and they've been stomping everybody. Arizona actually moved back up to number 2, and Michigan has moved down to number 3, followed by UConn and Florida. And Florida's came out of nowhere and just been consistently moving up the ranks the last few weeks. Nebraska and Michigan are back in the top 10. They were down to 12 and 13 last time we talked, but they're actually back up in there. I think they're 8 and 9. In the NBA, it's been 2 weeks since we talked, but they were on a break during that. Since we talked, the Eastern standings have not changed at all. Boston's 4.5 games back from the Pistons, and I think the Cavs are 7.5 games back from their 7 games now. Okay, it was 7.5 yesterday, but on the Western side, the Nuggets have dropped all the way to 5 from being in 2 pretty much the entire season. They're dropped all the way down to 5. Houston and Timberwolves, they were tied. Are they still tied?
Timberwolves are just
okay. Timberwolves won a game since then. So it goes the Thunder and then the Spurs in the West. In the NHL, Carolina, Tampa Bay, and now Buffalo lead the East, which Buffalo, I don't know where they came from. They must have went on a streak because they moved way up. And then the Avalanche, the Stars, and the Wild are still dominating the West. That hasn't changed all season. It's been the top 3 the entire season so far. So nothing's changed there. The Avalanche are at 90 or 91 points, I think, 91. So they're probably going to be the top scoring team and as the season ends here, which it should be coming to a close not too far from here. About another 20 games. And the MLB, the Cactus League play, like I said, I've been kind of watching it just because I don't remember ever seeing Cactus League. Was that a thing before this year?
I think it was. I can't. If it didn't, it had some name that was similar or represented the same thing.
So they got neat little divisions. It's not like your typical, teams that are in the American League and the National League.
Right.
They're all over. It's all shaken up.
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat to see different teams playing different teams and stuff like that.
So what is the Cactus League for somebody that has no clue?
It's like spring training tournament.
Okay.
So I think they call it the Cactus League because everybody's playing where it's warm.
I see.
See.
That's pretty much all it comes
Okay.
down to.
But yeah, so the Giants and Pittsburgh were leading the 2 different divisions of the Cactus League last time I looked. Soccer, the World Cup is 100 days out, and that was the number 1 article on ESPN. And then I read a little snippet on the side. They're tracking Ronaldo. They're tracking his goals on ESPN because he is closing in on 1,000 career goals. And I was trying to look and see how many players have scored 1,000 goals and stuff like that, and I couldn't find anything. Very brief search too. I was in a hurry, but he's at 965. So he
Wow.
has 35 more goals to go before he hits 1,000, which I'm guessing is quite the achievement in soccer, considering most games are
Low scoring.
Yeah.
1-0, 2-1, stuff like that. So
That sounds like a lot.
that's all I've got for sports ball this week.